Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live and the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Formula Renault Series here at Phillip Island. It's the final round of the season before the showdown. I'm Andrew Woodhouse and I'm joined by Alex Simpson. Adam Bath is on a boat somewhere, no doubt. And, well, Alex, we were swimming through a pile of whatever it was last week, but this week we're confident of it being a good fun meeting down under.
Yeah, I think so. Business end of the season now. Everybody knows where they're at. I think positions for the showdown are pretty much locked in place now. Yeah, so we're just going to push on really for that. Just to give you guys a bit of an overview, the wild card slots that are not shown on the tables that I'll bring up in a moment. So Josh Thompson has the wild card for the for the AM and the Pro Championship, so he'll be able to compete for both going into that as well. So good job for Josh. The second wild card slot in the Pro Series, actually there's nobody else available to get that because not enough people have done the required amount of races. So
oh damn, I thought you were going to say Andrew Woodhouse.
Hey. which is quite laughable really. So the showdown positions at the moment are looking like Martin van Loozenord, Sam LeBert, Jack Keithley, Paul Denton, Stephen Baxter, Christian Rose, Jos Honig, Rafe Cullinan, Tom Depker, Kip Stevens, and then Josh Thompson. In the AM, it's Paul Denton, Christian Rose, Baxter, Honig, Cullinan, Josh Thompson. So those guys get to go for both championships. So could be a nice little cash haul for them if they can get into the top 3 in both championships. So should be good. Apex Racing Academy and Pro Sim with Blue Flag Racing for the AMS team, and then for the Pro teams this is subject to change, I have to say, because Faker have to obviously give us an approval whether they want to run as a pro team or not, but as they're the only team out there with 5 cars, like, it's pretty much hands down that they're going to win this thing. So it's them, Apex Racing UK, CQR Club, and then what would be Gem if he comes back and runs in the wildcard spots. So yeah.
I tell you what, if they don't come back, they're a bit daft really, because
still
it's quite an easy ride for quite a lot of money available still.
There's still $5,500 up for grabs on this one. Everyone messed with the series and said, oh, this and that, you know. And even though there was small turnout, they've got together a $5,500 prize pool. So yeah, what can you say there?
Can't complain too much about that, to be fair.
No, exactly.
Yeah, like I say, I'll go in there and get it, but I'm not allowed. So there we go.
Run us through the grid quickly, if you would, mate, because we're about to get going.
Yeah, I will indeed. Martin van Loozenord takes pole position yet again with a 124.1. Jack Keithley quite a way behind in second, with Josh Thompson in third, Paul Denton fourth, Stephen Baxter fifth, Stelian Chepelevsky, new to the series, in sixth, Jos Honig in seventh, Yannick Ongener eighth, Tom Depker ninth, Alex Smolensky in 10th, Christian Rose 11th, David Waldock 12th, Daniel McCauley back to the series, good to see him, 13th, 14th Kip Stevens, and Kenny Rosen in 15th place.
A couple of people running in for different teams. Obviously some teams trying to get some drivers in ready for the showdown, so always going to happen, wasn't it?
Here we go then. Red lights are on at Phillip Island. Nice action gets underway now. Good start by Van Loozenord. It was also a pretty good one by Josh Thompson. Thompson and Keithley next to each other already. Quite interesting. Then Denton, Baxter, Chepelevsky and Ongener. Around the outside, Stelian Chepelevsky on Stephen Baxter. It's very close there. And the touring car boys, Alex, they're going to have to watch out because that's Chepelevsky and Smolensky. They're going to have to give more room than they used to out there.
Yeah, well, the wheel-to-wheel contact just can't have. Look at this into turn one.
Keithley up the inside into Honda hairpin on Van Loozenord. He tries to make the move, and it's happened already. And Thompson is off and possibly out. And that was Keithley flying up the inside of Van Loozenord. It was desperation trying to get that move done on lap 1, Alex, and it might have cost him dearly.
Yeah, it was definitely a bold move. We'll go back and look at it in a moment. They're still side by side right now as they go up and through. What's that one called? I can't remember what the call's called now.
Lucky Heights.
Lucky Heights.
Oh, Keithley down the inside on Van Loozenord now.
Still side by side. Great racing between them. Actually,
No
Martin and Jack have been probably the two drivers that haven't come into contact. I can't really see them having a major incident that I remember. But the night is young, I feel. Great battle going on behind as well.
It's very young. We're on lap 1. We've just finished it now. And turn 1 here, as you've seen many times before on Apex Racing TV, can be a problem spot. Van Loozenord really trying hard to defend now. Sorry, Keithley defending hard and Van Loozenord trying to breach the defences of Keithley. Now towards Donor corner, this really fast left-hander. Look how close they are. About 6 inches apart. Very good driving. Keithley hard on the brakes into Honda. Van Loozenord tries to get the cutback. He loses the back end and cannot make the move this time. But you've got to feel with a 4/10 of a second advantage in qualifying, Alex. It's only a matter of time for the Dutchman.
Yeah, Dan Macaulay back as well. We haven't seen him for quite some time, so Apex has a third car running for the academy team.
Good start by Dan, up 2 places.
Yeah, Tom Depker out there as well with Josh Thompson. So those 3 going for it. They need to.
Good line by Martin, Alex. He really went very wide into MG. It meant he's got a fantastic run through that final corner. I don't know the name of it, but beautiful slipstream he's got now.
Yeah, see what he can do. Looks like Keithley's got a very quick car in a straight line, very difficult to overtake. We're side by side last time, couldn't quite get it done. Looks like he's got his nose ahead, but Keithley's still to the inside. Martin's going to have the high ground here, though, into turn 2 and sweeps on past.
That might explain why Keithley was so desperate to get ahead. He knows he's got that straight line speed, can defend well, but this time not able to. Paul Denton and Stephen Baxter behind. I wonder if Denton's going to let Baxter through here. Well, Baxter's not going to be bothered about that. They're going for the team championship.
Aren't they? Yeah, they're locked in their positions now for the showdown. So.
I'm gonna.
Not what Yannick wants, that's for sure.
He's around.
Yannick, one of the 2 drivers that has qualified for the showdown from the mid-season alterations that were on there as well. Himself and Roy Vaverke, the only drivers qualifying for that.
Rose Depker and Thompson. Goes all the way around the outside of course. We're missing Roy Vaverke tonight. We're missing Roy Vaverke, Rafe Cullinan, John McCutchinson, Adam of course not racing.
Yeah,
Quite a lot of
Bear
regulars
as well.
not here. Samuel LeBear, yeah. John Godfrey is coming back potentially soon. We think for the showdown. Am I right?
Possibly. Yeah, he did say he might. He was hoping to. So
if he can, then. But Jos Honig now having a go on Thompson. Thompson with that slight front wing damage. Can't be doing him any favours. Qualify in 3rd position, but of course getting bashed out of the way at the hairpin.
So you got a feel for Josh there. Really, he was kind of the innocent man there, wasn't he, in that incident?
Rose off. Depker forced Rose a bit wide and took to the grass. Yeah, you're right though. Thompson, very little chance to avoid that, I think. And round was Chepelevsky. Oh no, sorry, it's Waldock, sorry.
Back is getting very close now.
David Waldock spinning off at Honda hairpin. And off goes Jos Honig, that taken to the grass and flying through the air over one of the bumps. So allow Waldock to go back through and gain a place back. That's the car of Alex Smolensky, number 2.
We think we can just jump away for a second and just get a recap of the start.
That Ongena going again? Yes, it was. Okay, Alex Ongena spinning at MG corner. Think you can have? Yeah, take us through it.
Let's do that. Let's jump because I think probably Keithley or if we focus on Keithley, I think we'll see everything, won't we? So yeah. So relatively clean start through the first couple of corners. All got away great. Nice to see a reasonable field out there cycling through. But Martin got a little bit wide coming off of turn 2, and I think that's what's let Jack get the run, and also so did Josh. They literally split on Martin, but yeah, I have to say it was a bit gung-ho from Jack. Just about held onto the car on the inside. Josh, I think he probably would have had room if it had only been 2 wide, but as it was 3 wide, he just got nerfed.
Unfortunate. Obviously, we thought they might take it a bit easy after last week. Not so much, but again, it's racing for you, and sometimes you see rivalries going on, and it is a big part of motor racing.
The 2.1 seconds clear now is Van Loozenord from Keithley, so definitely has the pace all the way.
Now, I know we were talking the other night about how many showdown rounds there are going to be. Did the admins make a decision on that?
Nothing's been changed on that. There was just obviously an initial message that went out from myself to everybody on iRacing, just to let them know where everything stands. As now the series is still just going to run as build. Nothing's changing on that part. Yeah, I think ultimately not enough people come back to me and said they wanted to join in a conversation to try and change anything. I think I had 3 people volunteer, so right now that's not enough to make a majority on anything, so we'll just carry on as we're originally planned.
Stalin Chepleski going along pretty well.
He's a good driver, isn't he? He
P5?
can jump in, it seems to like he can jump in just about anything.
That's very good, yeah.
Run relatively strong.
We know Stelly quite well. Actually going on holiday with him, aren't we?
Well, that's it, yeah.
Next month, so.
I think Kip's trying to pull a fast one here, because I'm pretty sure he's contracted to Apex thinking he's going to get him to run for Pro Sim. I don't know what he's thinking about.
Well,
So
you're going to have to put your foot down on that one.
I was about to say, we're going to have
Maybe
to have some
Smolenski
serious...
can run for Pro Sim,
We're
but
going to have to have some serious negotiations going on here, I think.
that's it. Well, Smolenski can run for Pro Sim all he wants, because he's one of their drivers, so... I don't know.
Talking of...
Where is Kip? What's he doing? He's in between... He's just behind Smolenski, and he's got ahead of Depka. So
yeah.
Depka's had a problem then.
Tom must have had a problem, because he was right in that sort of gaggle that's further up the road, that's exchanging positions right now between Waldock and Honig and Co. But hopefully he can fight his way back as he goes past through the middle. Takes 2 places there for Depka, back up to 11th place. Got the bit between his teeth. A 1:31 that lap, so it was obviously the last lap as well that he had the problems.
Nice work by Tom. He's definitely got more consistent and a bit quicker towards the middle and the end of the season.
I mean, he has had an absolute doozy of a season, really, hasn't he? He was caught-upping everything at the start.
Went
of the
in the
season.
bigger grids, yeah. Because the problem he had was he was in the middle of the pack, and he was getting the first lap heroes from the back of the grid, wasn't he? Coming flying in on him, and those fast guys who got penalties, who just could not, for the life of them, remember how to drive and keep the car clean. So yeah, it was a bad position for Tom, but as the season's gone on, he seems to have been a bit better. Obviously he's had a bit of an error there, but something's gone on anyway. Look at this battle for P7 now, Alex, between Macaulay, Waldock, Rose, Honig. That's 1 second between the 4 of them, and good to see Daniel Macaulay back out on the tracks. He was racing, of course, at the beginning of the year. Here comes Waldock. Well, that's trying to get the position back.
Yeah, from
Rose
Christian.
has just taken it.
Tell you what, Warlock's looking a lot more comfortable in the car in this race. And David, if you watch this back and you want to get your livery up on there, make sure you upload it to the website for the paint pack, and we'll do that. Unfortunately, the series doesn't use the trading paints for this.
That's bsrhub.com if you're interested.
Honig with a run now on Waldock. Slightly poor exit coming out of turn 2, and it's made him a little bit vulnerable. Late on the brakes, Honig sweeps around, gets the move done.
Box the front, but
good.
Makes it into the corner okay.
Depka closing in on this group as well, so some half a second faster than them the last time by, so
Tell you what, with the additions
coming
of
back at them.
Waldock and Smolenski to this pack over the last couple of weeks, just make it look it's very competitive down there, isn't it? Oh, off goes Macaulay. It's a big one.
Oh, big hit.
Hard crash for Daniel. What happened there? He turns it into, that's turn 2. Oh, he just loses the rear, and it's a correction again.
Ugh.
What we saw with, I think it happened last week as well. Dear me. Big crash into the wall. Daniel McCauley's first race back ends with a DNF. Not what he wanted, but well, he's got 3 more chances tonight, and nothing he could really do about that, mate. It's just, you almost get punished for having too quick a reaction sometimes.
Yeah, you do. It's a bit of... It's weird, isn't it, the way it snaps back like that? You know, you crab, you catch it, and it just flies off the other way. So, yeah, totally crazy.
It does happen, doesn't it, in real life? But it's kind of not almost quite as extreme as that, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You do see drivers doing that very thing, especially in single seaters. But you're more likely to just see the back coming round. And you either can straighten it up generally, or you just don't catch the rear, don't you? Really, and that's generally the outcome. But there, it's a big snap, and it wasn't a massive slide either. It was a fairly big slide, but nothing you'd think would be dangerous to his race. But such a fast part of the track there as well, Alex. Not a great deal of runoff area.
No, that's it.
I mean, there was enough runoff area that you wouldn't have thought he'd have smashed the wall, but that was the severity of the jolt back the other way, as Jos Honig trying to come back on Waldock again. He almost tried to go up the inside there, the last corner. That's almost impossible. And now he comes across in front of Depka. He's going to box himself in here, Jos Honig, if he's not careful. And he just realised that as Depka goes flying by on his outside.
Yeah, it takes both of them. Thank you very much. Moves himself back up to 8th place.
Honig's got wing damage, Alex, on the front.
Yeah, slowing him down.
Right hand side bent up. Oh, Waldock off. In the same place as Macaulay. Can he keep it out of the barrier? He does.
Yeah, he was fortunate he didn't back it in. He went in front first. So he still has some sort of control. Who's that off
right
as
way,
well?
And that's Stevens going off.
Phillip and Smolenski racing each other.
Yeah, it's normal. Stevens ended up with a slowdown as well because he lost a couple of places there. David Waldock went in very late on the brakes. I think he's trying to have a go on Yannick Ongener, but Ongener
on left here.
Ongener's back now. Stevens is now down to last position, having been in 11th just a few minutes ago.
He's got Thompson to worry about. I think Josh is just caught into the slipstream. This is going to be the last lap of the race, so a bit of the competition to hold on to this top 5 for his first race in the car.
Baxter's dropped Denton off as well. I don't know whether that's just intentional from Faker, just to make sure that they collide with each other on the last lap. It's going to be close between Cheppy and Thompson. The end of this one, Van Loosenhoorn then round Honda hairpin, 4-second lead, so he can cruise it on from here. Van Loosenhoorn, keep it on the circuit.
Nice track to drive in the Renault. Is this one, Phillip Island? It's a great track to drive in any car, I think. Actually,
feel the
Josh
pace suits it.
Is through, by the way. So
I never agreed with this track very much in the Formula 1 car, but yeah, in a slower car, I can imagine it being a lot easier. But a lot more enjoyable, that's what I mean by that, anyway. Here we go then. Van Loosenhoorn, final corner. Well, in an absolute exhibition there from Martin Van Loosenhoorn. Involved in a crash on lap 1. That didn't stop him from taking the win here at Phillip Island. Although Martin Van Loosenhoorn, Jack Keithley in 2nd place, Stephen Baxter in 3rd, Paul Denton in 4th, and then it's going to be Josh Thompson. Just takes that 5th place in the end from Stelian Chepelevsky. Christian Rose is going to be best of the rest, shall we say, in P7. Head of a very good battle between Depka and Honig. And then we've got Alex Smolensky finishing in the top 10. And Yannick Ongen at 11th. 2 spins for him, Alex. That really killed him because he would have finished. He would have been at least 7th there, I think, Ongen. And Waldock 12th. Stevens 13th. And then the only retirement was Daniel McCauley. Kenny Rusin did do the practice, but he didn't do qualifying. He didn't take the start either, so I'm not sure he's going to turn up for the rest of the meet.
No, it is looking a little bit like that, isn't it?
Yep. Just 3 races left tonight here at Phillip Island. How many laps did we get done there? So that'll give us an opportunity to figure out roughly what the race is going to be in the next 3. Martin van Loosenhout did 11 laps there, so that's the likely race distance. If we have a if we're going to have a full reverse grid, of course, but Kip Stevens is going to be on pole, 13th place in the race. It's going to be Waldock, Ongen, Smolensky, and Honig. I'm thinking, Alex, that is a good chance for Yannick Ongen to maybe win the race because
I think so. Go towards his his bonus points to start off the showdown with, which will always be useful.
David, obviously not a great deal of experience in the series. Kip Stevens, all due respect to him, but he's not one of the quicker drivers out there in this series. He is a very good touring car driver, but Renault, I think he's more just having a bit of fun and trying to finish the races, really, Alex.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, we'll be back for race 2 in just a few minutes' time here on Apex Racing TV as the BSR Formula Renault Series heads towards the showdown. We'll see you in a bit.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
in the outside, contact made, 56 slides it into 4, who's gonna be into stripe, dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to BSR Formula Renault here on Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson bringing you all the action from the final meeting before the showdown. Alex, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Oh.
We've lost 3 drivers.
Oh God, we have lost 3 drivers.
Between the first and the second race, we've lost 3 cars.
Who have we lost?
Well, trying to work that out for myself. Oh, there's Stuart McFadden, so that's an extra driver. Unless they're just not in the session yet. But I'm trying to figure out who that is that we have lost. To be fair, and we
No, Dan Macaulay.
Oh, Macaulay, yeah.
Obviously, the driver who didn't race. He's obviously not there.
He's not there. Yeah, we had 14 or 15. We had
15, including them, and no Stuart. So Stuart's another one. So that would have been 16. So yeah, it's definitely still missing her.
Stuart's back. Oh well. Yeah, I can't work it out at all. But which is weird because there's so few of them. Oh, Ongana. Oh no, Ongana's there.
No
Stevens. No Stevens.
Yeah.
Oh well. Never mind. He'll be there, I'm sure. Probably too busy with his memes to and he forgets to enter the session. I think
that's it. He's on Facebook memeing it up.
I think he is. To be fair, just
got to get into that league and rename him.
That's it. Meme-thins. I don't know. I don't know what we could call him, but it probably wouldn't be PG. As the driver's getting ready for race 2 then. Overcast conditions, well and truly set in. 25 degrees in the air temperature, 25 degrees track temperature. Alex, from your experience around here, overcast conditions, good thing for the drivers or not?
Will be after the first lap. Car will feel fantastic. There'll be a lot of grip coming out of those hairpins, so they'll be able to push quite a bit harder through those medium and high speed sweeping corners as well. The car will be absolutely glued. But yeah, the first lap will be very tricky, especially coming out of the likes of Honda, as the car will just want to snap coming out of there on lap 1. So that's going to be interesting.
Fadden asking about the fuel, like a true pro. To be fair, when you come into a meeting after one race, I don't expect anything different. To be honest, I'm hoping we get those other drivers in. After last week, I'm just in a bit of a trolling mood, to be honest. Today, Martin van Loozenhout, though, he well and truly trolled everyone with his pace, didn't he, in the first race, where he just destroyed the field.
Yeah, once he got back past Jack and Claire, that was it. Just no one could get near him. Then he just drove away. So we're interested in sort of the weather effect. You can see like the overcast. Oh, what's going on today? Overcast on the reflection of the sea. It makes it look quite a bit different. So yeah, interesting little weather effect.
It is a picturesque location, really.
I'd love to go here. My auntie lives just across the basically on the mainland, very very close to it. So she's like, if you ever want to go, you got a place to stay. I'm like, oh my god.
There you go, free accommodation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Flight,
it doesn't help that the flights are about £600 or whatever they are. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, and the rest, and I hate flying. So I'm afraid to fly. So it's like 24 hours of flying.
This is the thing.
Like,
the hour to Germany isn't so bad.
Yeah, exactly. I can deal with that. Up and down.
24 hours. I mean, the only other way you could get there is you could sail there, but that would take you quite a long time. We'll see you in a few months, mate. I hope you've got good Wi-Fi on the boat.
Yeah.
But speaking of boats, it's where Adam Bath is. He's gone to the Isle of Man. So and he's gone at the only time of the year, I think, when there's no bike racing. Yeah. David Waldock on pole position anyway, in front of Yannick Ongana. Alex Smolensky in P3 with Jos Honig in 4th, Tom Depke 5th, 6th Christian Rose, 7th Stellan Jepelewski, 8th Josh Thompson, 9th Paul Denton, then Baxter, Keithley, Van Loozenhout, and McFadden. Here we go.
Green, green, green.
Green lights is on. Fantastic reaction by Waldock. That's brilliant. Great start off pole position. He's going to have a job on defending though. Ongana right in his tracks. Honig trying to go around the outside of Smolensky. They're going to have more momentum here on lap 1. Honig flies up the inside. Oh, Depke loses it. That's into Rose. That's a big one. Thompson off. And that was a bit of a pile-up in there.
I think it all started when Depka just nerfed the Smolensky a little bit, wasn't it? It was only a small touch, but it was enough. And that got them all loose for the lead.
New driver's in trouble after that.
I'm going to try to go around the outside, can't do it. Wardock holds him off just for the moment, so...
And Lucenord's up into 4th place.
Oh my god. Oh my.
He managed to avoid everything there.
Going to be 3rd by the end of the lap if Baxter can't hold him off, and I don't think he's going to bother. No, lets him just go straight through.
That's the thing. Faker don't need to bother at this stage. They need to worry about that next week.
Yeah, insane.
It was just that pile-up, really, that just Depka's car is doing the worse for wear, especially the back end. And we'll see exactly who's done what at the end of the lap. Ongena leading, Waldock second, Van Loosenhout's already in the shot. He's already about 1 second behind. Now it's Ongena defending from Waldock. It's the reversal of lap 1. Pit line speed for the Belgian. Van Loosenhout up from 12th on the grid to 3rd. That's difficult enough to do anyway. Let alone when he's starting amongst the fast drivers. McFadden up to P5.
Yeah, I mean Keithy up to 5th as well, so he's, you know, we'd be...
Sorry, yeah.
As Martin goes for 2nd, Waldock doesn't get in the way, we would be going crazy about Keithy up to 5th, you know, if it wasn't for Martin now in P2.
Going to be P1 very soon as well, I would imagine. I'm going to take it for granted, but look what's happened. He's up 11 positions already. 10 positions, sorry, from where he started. Is it going to be? Not going to be N2MG. Not daft coming from that far back.
Oh,
this is the line he took
up already. Yeah.
This is the line he took in the last race. It just allows him to get a much better run through the final corner. Got the draft nicely now.
Looks like he's out again.
Surprise, I bet that's a black and orange flag for him. And here comes Van Loosenhout, and that's the lead for him.
Yeah, I think you were right to say that Ongena had a chance to win, because I think he's going to drive away here. I don't think even Keithy's going to be able to catch up to his teammate.
It wasn't for
in
the
the
crash.
remaining 9 laps. But yeah, like you say, the crash, it just sort of was like the parting of the sea for Martin, and it's just allowed him to get there. It could have been another 3 or 4 laps for him to get into sort of P2, and by then Ongena might have been 4 or 5 seconds up the road. What's this battle going on? McFadden and Denton side by side.
I'm going to say, is it worth having a look at the? Oh, that's close.
Madden enjoying himself, isn't he? He had a bit of a play with this a couple of weeks ago and quite enjoyed it.
Well, he was at Imola, wasn't he? He won the race.
Yeah.
He won the race that I finished on the podium in.
That's it. And Thompson having to fight back after having to take some reactions to avoid it. Julian Palmer-esque.
I mean, that was ninja reactions from Palmer. As Ongena going off again at a slow corner.
Disaster.
He's had a real nightmare with the hairpins.
Just as I was bigging him up that he could have had the win. It's all gone pear-shaped. He's down into 5th under pressure from his teammate Denton.
Great line from McFadden there, Alex. Using the outside, really almost like a wet weather.
Could be 4.
Is there someone behind them?
Well, it's just ahead, so. I thought.
It's Thompson.
Yeah, that's it.
I was on board with McFadden, but I didn't see Thompson. You seen the Red Bull livery on that McFadden car, Alex?
I'm afraid not. No, it's not in the paint pack. So.
A very nice 2017 Red Bull livery on there. Ongena hard braking into the Honda hairpin. Thompson looks right on the outside.
Get that done. And McFadden going through as well. That's sneaky and worth doing. As he managed to pull it off. Oh, it's going to be close. I think have the inside for the sweeper.
Waldock and Baxter have been side by side for nearly the entire lap as well. That's in front of this battle, and now Denton. Oh, Denton loses the car.
Oh, it takes his team.
But he carries on. It's going to be okay, Yannick Ongare. Or is it? No, it's not okay at all, is it? Crabbing. That's crabbing.
Oh, that's awful.
That is not what Faker needed there. Denton's got big damage to the front.
He finished 7 laps though, whether or not it's going to affect him that much that he can't maintain that 2 laps down.
He's got a lot of left hand down there.
Yeah. A lot worse than what Vettel was having to deal with.
I was thinking that, yeah. Like I say, it'll be okay in the right-handers, it's a bit like what Seb said, but going to have a lot of understeer in the left-handers, you can see it. He's managing it well at the minute. Stelin Chepelevsky is 10 seconds behind, so I mean, I don't think he'll stay ahead of Cheppy, but that might be the only place he loses. Christian Rose has got big damage, and of course we've seen Depka's rear wing. He wasn't out of the race, Alex, at least.
Yeah, so he had a second spin, but you have Rose massive damage on his, so nothing. Can't see with the onboard shot. Hopefully we'll get an external one. Locks up for Depka into the hairpin, but still got a good line. Yeah, like you say, it's not. I don't think that makes too much of a difference, does it? In the Renault, the damage there a little bit, but not huge.
A little bit.
He's off pace compared to what he was doing in the last one, so it's obviously having some effect.
Van Loosenhout half a second quicker than Stephen Baxter on that last lap, stretching the advantage out to 4.7 seconds now. Started at the back of the grid, Alex, and he's already got a 5-second lead on lap 6.
Well, when you're on that form, I think Martin's biggest thing, you know, fair to say he goes into the showdown as the out-and-out favourite. Since we lost the likes of
Bollock Bassi, unless he turns up.
Well, there's Jem, and there was Peter, and there was Antoine, and people like that who could have given him a run for his money. But since they've obviously pulled out of the series, he's definitely going in as favourite. But yeah, Martin's sometimes just a little bit impatient, and he gets caught up in the crashes that we saw earlier on, where Keithley seems to avoid them. That's the reason why Keithley's leading the championship now.
Well, until Keithley's decided to get involved in a lot of them in the last few weeks.
Well, yeah. Martin not here obviously last week, so yeah. I mean, it's all to play for. And I think Martin just needs to make sure he finishes every race. If he can finish every race of the showdown, then I struggle to see how Keithley will beat him.
Quick suggestion. I wonder if we could go on board with Martin maybe and have a look at his start.
Right, yeah, let's see if we can find that.
Yeah, let me know when you run that, and I'll follow it along. You can take us through it. It was a great start.
Here we go.
Seconds, well.
Just while we're waiting for the last of the cars to up on the grid. Where's the building? Good start from Martin. Doesn't get any wheel spin or anything like that. It's that good initial launch. Picked up one place already before we go into turn 1. You can see this pack ahead. I mean, you can see all the cars in front of him. So goes around the outside of one of the faker. I think that was Denton, and he's tight to the inside. There's that crash.
There.
Oh, he just has to thread the. You're right. It was the parting of the seas, but he definitely had to avoid it. So they crashed to the left and they crashed to the right.
And Honig was off after that as well. Yeah. So that was where P4. That's where P12 turned into P4. But you saw he got a good start, and he passed 2 cars by the time he got there. But he wouldn't have. I don't think he would have had a chance of making any progress through turn 2.
No,
if they
he
hadn't
wouldn't have
crashed.
No, he really wouldn't have done.
And then for instance, you've got a much different. Maybe a much different race on our hands. I mean, he might have already been through by now. We don't know, but he would have been maybe 8th at the end of the first lap instead of second or whatever it was. So 3rd. 5.8 seconds is the gap. Keithley is catching Baxter, but only by 1/10 of a second. Josh Thompson is catching both of them by 1/10 of a second. David Waldock and Jos Honning pretty close together. Honning the quicker of the two. And then everything from Waldock backwards is very spread out. Smolensky is 3 seconds ahead of Denton, who's 18 seconds ahead of Chepelevsky. There's another 10 ahead of Depka, who's another 10 ahead of Ongena. So that's more than 10 for Ongena. He might struggle to make it under 2 laps down, you know, Alex, because he's really, really suffering out there, Yannick Ongena. 1 minute and 9 seconds down already. Only had the damage for 4 laps. He's going to have to pick up the pace.
It's going to be close, isn't it? Yeah, whether he's going to hold on to that.
Remember, in this series, if you finish 1 lap down or 1 lap down or less, you do score points. 2 laps down, no points for you. And of course, it's okay for him now, but when he gets lapped by Van Loozenhout, you've got to feel when that big pack of cars comes through, he's going to have to get out of the way and he's going to cost himself more time. Martin is 50 seconds ahead of the man in front of Yannick Ongena, Tom Depka. So you can see what I'm getting at there. By the time he's lost time to all the cars there, Van Loozenhout's only going to be 20 seconds or so behind him. However, he's off. He's back on. Overcooking it slightly in the middle sector. Saving grace for Ongena, actually, Alex, might be that Van Loozenhout's only got 2.5 laps to go.
Yeah, I think he'll be alright, to be honest.
He hasn't lapped him yet. He's picked up the pace. He has picked it up a little bit on this lap. So I think he's going to score some points. Got anything with this battle, Keithley, Baxter and Thompson? Thompson versus Keithley might be the one to watch, actually.
Yeah, with 2 laps to go as they cross the line.
That's for more than one reason. It's not just because it's the closest battle on the circuit.
And of course what happened last week, yeah.
And the week before, and Suzuka. Previous here. And I must have... Was that Ongena off and crashed in the wall? It was.
It was, yeah. We'll stay with this battle. But yeah, Yannick not having the best of nights.
I know that Josh can be exuberant out there on the track, but it does seem to be this little mini rivalry. Seems to be getting to Jack Keithley a bit more than it's getting to Josh Thompson, I feel. By the looks of it anyway out there. Oh dear, it's happening again. Oh, there's barely any room given here.
We've seen no jinking around. That was really what the problem was last week, wasn't it? You know, so
it's just the stupid defensive driving that was the problem, wasn't it, from both of them, really?
Going in very, very hot. Josh has sort of took a Martin-esque line round there to try and get a better exit or carry all that speed. He's only 0.3 of a second back, closing in. Going to carry a lot more speed. Josh always one that trims his car out as well, so I think he will have the speed to
that last
slingshot past.
That last sector's all about positioning, though, isn't it? And taking that wide line into MG really allows you to position the car better for the final corner. Now side by side, Keithley on the inside line, only centimetres between them. Keithley locks up, nearly loses the rear. Vibes, he's got a great exit though.
Josh lost it coming out as well, didn't he? So they're going to be side by side.
Man. But this. Brilliant driving. Keithley beautifully positioning the car.
Yeah, he gets the call to be clear, doesn't he? Swipe straight across.
But it was
absolutely entitled to do.
It was an awesome bit of braking at the hairpin. Just park the car on the apex.
There's Martin. He's going to be bringing it home very soon. We'll stay with
close. Oh, Thompson's trying on the inside of the hay sheds. Into Lucky Heights again.
Yeah, he just can't get the run through there, unfortunately.
Will it be into MG? That'll be a move. Oh! That was very close. Keithley again. Expert positioning. We're going to cut to Van Loosenord. He's going to come through. He's going to take race 2 here. 2 from 2 for him. But here we go, Thompson. Close. Thompson with that trimmed out car, as you mentioned, Alex. It's going to be so close over the line. What's going to happen? Who's going to take? It's going to be Jack Keithley. By 5/1000ths of a second. What a race.
An extra, 10 metres and it had gone the other way.
Right. That's what the Formula Renault does when it's been raced well, and that was good racing at the end.
Yeah, it was much, much better than what we saw last week. That was
very
great.
good, very clean, but hard racing still by Josh Thompson and Jack Keithley. And Jack Keithley deservedly getting third at the end there. Good defence. Stuart McFadden once again doing pretty well, to be honest. 5th place. We started at the very back, and well, 8 out of the top 9 drivers, Alex, finished in the bottom 8 places on the race.
Yeah, unfortunate for Yannick, obviously 3 laps down, so he's not going to score any points, is he? For there.
Not sure what happened to him.
Neither will Christian either. He retired in the end.
Rose got the worst of that first lap crash, I think.
Yeah, he did, definitely.
I've gone around with the meatball flag for a little bit, trying to get as many laps as he could, but a bit futile in the end for him. Martin Van Loosenord then takes the second win of the night, ahead of Stephen Baxter by 7.5 seconds. Jack Keithley in 3rd, Josh Thompson in P4, Stuart McFadden 5th, David Waldock 6th, Alex Smolensky 7th, ahead of Jos Honig in 8th. That was pretty close. Paul Denton 9th, Stelian Chepelevsky in 10th. Excuse me, sorry. Tom Depker 11th, Yannick Ongene retired, as did Christian Rose.
Yeah, pretty decent race, that one. The crash did spoil it just a little bit, but looking forward to the next one, actually.
It spoiled any charge through the field, didn't it? But what it did do is it gave us a good battle at the end between Thompson and Keithley, and again, that's what we wanted to see after the rubbish that we saw from them last week. So, 2 races down, 2 more to go here in the BSR Formula Renault Series. We'll be back for the remainder of the last round before the showdown here on Apex Racing TV. We'll see you back here soon.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
the third Renault race of the evening here from Phillip Island in Australia. On Apex Racing TV, Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson here with you. And Alex's second race was pretty fun. It's a big crash at the start, but what it did mean was actually we got a good battle between two of the championship contenders, Josh Thompson and Jack Keithley.
Yeah, and it was
In
a good
fact,
battle.
everyone's a championship contender.
Well, this is true.
Pretty much.
Points all going to get reset to 10,000, so everybody's going to be within 200 points from the end of this meeting. So, yeah, I mean, that seems like a long way away, but it really isn't in this series. You can score way over that in just one meeting. So
Yeah, it's not F1 where 200 points is 8 race victories.
yeah, so should be should be good. But yeah, that was a great race, the last one actually between those two, nice and clean. That's what that's what we didn't get last week.
Well, that's it. And but that's what we want to see. We want to see hard and fast racing every week, and also, clean racing. And like you say, we haven't been getting that, and it's nice to see that here. Tom Depka then will start on pole for Apex Racing Academy with Stelian Chepelevsky alongside him. Paul Denton in third, Jos Honig in fourth. Fifth, Alex Smolensky, David Waldock in sixth, Stuart McFadden seventh, eighth, Josh Thompson, ninth, Jack Keithley, 10th, Stephen Baxter, 11th is Martin van Loozenhoorn, 12th, Yannick Ongener, Christian Rhodes in 13th, and Kip Stevens in 14th. And just a few seconds' time then, we'll be ready for
Have a
the
drink before the revs build up, mate.
I haven't got one. Here we go. Hope nobody ends up in the drink. The sea is close. Here we go. Tom Depka pulls away. The green light is on. Stelian Chepelevsky, maybe a bit less experienced getting away from the line in this car, but not a bad getaway from him. Paul Denton is alongside the Bulgarian. He's trying to go up the inside. Stelian just squeezes him off a little bit. All going off in the middle as well. Van Loozenhoorn and Keithley, they're already up to 6th, 7th, 8th place. Alexson already coming through the field. Nobody seems to have anything for them on the first lap.
No, they're just flying straight through. 8th place for 7th place now. So yeah.
Although Smolensky,
Thompson
as we
in
know,
deep.
Alex Smolensky moves aside for very few people, and he fights back on Van Loozenhoorn. He goes through. Van Loozenhoorn fires it into the next corner. Got balked a little bit by Honig on the inside. Here comes Smolensky. He's very close to the Dutchman, and there is McFadden as well. And at the front, it's very close. Chepelevsky's gone into the lead. He'll be happy with that. It's Denton versus Depka versus Thompson. Thompson into MG. What a passing move that is.
Yeah, Depka sees him coming. I think gives him a fair amount of room, and
What a good move by Thompson. That was brilliant.
he's gone through the pack really quickly as well.
That's P2. P2 for Josh Thompson. Started in 8th position. Van Loozenhoorn's already up to 4th, is he? Is that right?
5th.
5th.
But still impressive. And this is what we were talking about with Jack in the last race.
Fourth
the
position
first lap
now.
to 5th would have been impressive.
Off goes Waldock.
Oh, it's a tough place to rejoin, that is, and fails.
Keep it out of the wall? No.
Yeah, just too much momentum in there. Fortunately, couldn't get the decent camera angle on that.
Probably a good thing for him. The hairpin then. Chepelevsky from Thompson, and then Depka, then Van Loozenhoorn, then it's Denton and Keithley up into E7.
Oh, is that Cheppy off? It was Cheppy off.
That's the leader.
Got a little bit.
Thompson and Van Loozenhoorn.
Yeah, just lost it coming out of Siberia and ran wide and just had to sort of hold on to it.
Stelian is driving car number 1, by the way. Not a former champion of the series, I must say. BSR TC title contender pretty much every year. Hasn't won it yet. Reasonable chance of doing it this year, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Obviously,
There's a lot of
Baker's gonna be
drivers in
tough
that
to beat.
series though that are going to be going to have a good chance. Anyone I think who gets in that showdown is going to have an opportunity this time round.
Baker's going to be tough to beat because he just
As Keithley goes by Denton,
he's an expert at the format. And
Peppy trying to go around the outside.
Brave round there.
Might pull it off though. He's going to get a better run out of the corner.
Oh, cuts him off, does Denton. That's good driving. Here comes Alex Smolensky.
Martin on Thompson. Thompson defending the inside.
Wow, that's tight. Hairpin. Thompson's a bit of a different test for Van Loozenhout than the ones he's faced so far in this race, though. Alex is a bit quicker, Thompson, and very good straight line speed and very good on the brakes. But no defence there.
No, well,
as much as I try and big that up, that was an absolute disaster.
Once you get the good draft as well, I think it's fairly hard to get the run.
Not a disaster for Thompson though. That's smart driving from a driver who sometimes hasn't used his head enough this year. But he's starting to use it now, and that's the most important time, Alex. If you're gonna find time to take a sensible pill, the best time is at the end of the season.
Yep, he wants to come back through.
Here he comes then, and he takes it easily. Maybe he just knew he had that straight line speed in reserve. He knew he'd be able to come back.
Or who's that off in the background? That's Cheppy again, pushing to the limits. He had that lead for a while, and now he's got the bit between his teeth and thinks he can get involved with these guys. And he's actually giving it some.
He's definitely
any minute.
Certainly getting involved, so there's no danger of that.
He's still battling up front as well, side by side. Keithley going to slip through this time.
Very close in the battle for the lead and one for third. Keithley versus Depka versus Denton, and then Chepilevsky. In fact, just 9 seconds cover the top 11 after 4 laps as Van Loozenhout goes through again on Thompson. I think Thompson knows though. Thompson knows he's got that straight line speed.
As long as he can stay within, a reasonable. Oh, Martin gets a little out of shape. That's not going to help him at all.
That 6 to 7 tenths of a second is what you need, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Josh doesn't get the best of runs this time, so he will still get close to him. I think he might get by.
He'll get through. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yep, here we go.
Denton and Depka as well in the background.
Over 250 kilometres an hour, and pretty much flat out through turn 1 as well. The great corner is turn 1, really. It's pretty difficult. It looks easy, looks simple, but really isn't. Now, Van Loozenhout to the outside through Stoner. And Thompson's going to have the straight line speed to challenge into Honda. Go side by side then. Bit of a wiggle coming out of there for Josh. Martin's on the inside. Josh gives him the room. Allows him through again and gets the undercut. Good driving this, Alex.
Yeah, fantastic driving. Needs to make sure he stays in that range to do that move again.
Well and truly in the range.
Through.
I think he just allows Martin to get that,
Yeah, exactly. He knows that he's got the sort of almost the high ground here.
As long as he doesn't make a mistake coming through this final sector. In fact, he's done the complete opposite of that. He's much closer this lap. Better lap from Thompson. I wonder if he'll get through too early here, Doesn't want Martin to be able to come back at him, that's for sure.
Yeah, and if you don't get enough of a run, you don't have the same sort of overspeed, do you? So you end up just being side by side. So
because I feel if Martin is ahead for most of the lap, I think he'll clear off.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
So both men
they're at it again. Keithley catching up as well, so clearly Martin can go faster than this.
Critical to be in the lead in turn 1 for these two gentlemen. Go again then into the hairpin, side by side. Van Loozenhout this time tries to run round the outside. Thompson cuts across, he's just about got the space, and this time Martin and not use the inside as the method of entry to get back through. But now he can follow through the hay sheds, and this is where Van Loozenhout is strong, Alex, and where they've swapped positions a few times.
Yeah, I wonder if Martin will just be a little bit patient and think, well, you keep coming back at me at the straight, so maybe I should do down the straight and see if I can have that lap to pull away.
For me, if Martin gets in the lead in turn 1, it's going to be over. Because I just think he's got the pace through sector 1.
Oh, he's very close this time. He's probably too close though. He's going to have to duck out very, very quickly. And like I say, that overspeed's not going to be too great. Josh is always trimmed out, so there's going to be very, very similar sort of times. Let's look.
Side by side.
And they're almost identical with speed, so there's hardly anything going on there. But I think he's just going to nip through.
Always using the limits though. Van Loozenhout. Thompson, look at that though, Alex, when we talked about positioning.
Great battle further back as well going on. That's Ongana, Smolenski and Cheppy, Denton, Baxter.
It's critical for Thompson as well, isn't it? Because and that's going to help him lock up from Van Loozenhout.
He's got to stay right on his wing now.
This is Martin's part of the track.
Yeah, definitely. Keithy's coming at these two as well, so Martin's going to want to pull away. Josh needs to use this slipstream of Martin just to hold on to Martin for a few laps if he can. That's going to at least consolidate his second position. Keithy's not that much quicker, just 2 or 3 tenths of a second at the minute while they've been battling, so it's not like he's going to suddenly romp up behind Josh. So
yeah, he's closing in a little bit, but of course they have a fair bit of slipstream, don't they, these two between them. Let's see then this time whether Thompson can close in and what Van Loozenhout can do about it after 7 laps. Big overspeed here, but quite enough.
Yeah, back down to 2 tenths of a second though, so that's going to be the critical thing. And that lap, he was only a tenth of a second slower than Keithley. So
poor corner there, poor Siberia though, wasn't it? Not the best.
yeah,
Is
6
that
tenths of a
Siberia
second.
or not? I get confused.
I don't think that one is Siberia.
It's the one after, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So 6 tenths of a second. Cheppy, where are you? You're flashing side by side with somebody. That's it's Paul Denton.
Oh, they're so. Oh man, it was very close.
And I don't know if he got a little nerf on the side there or not, but
Yeah,
Cheppy decided he was moving to the left. Get out of that one.
It was a tiny bit of contact, must admit.
Half a second between them. That slipstream coming into effect. Keithley 2 seconds behind the leader, but 2 seconds behind Thompson now, so they have pulled out maybe 2 tenths of a second this lap. That's it. Martin's free, 7 tenths of a second.
I won't call it free though, mate. With the slipstream
Josh's
of
car
Thompson.
is trimmed out. You can see that he actually come back at him. So it just goes to show he's just got a hair more straight line speed in that, and that's pulled him back into the slipstream zone. He's not going to gain quite as much as he did last time.
He does gain through that first sector. He'll gain towards the Honda hairpin as well, but what Thompson is doing, and that's a better line. A much better line than he did last time. His last lap he was a bit too wide. The cliffs to the right hand side of the drivers.
Over 7 tenths now.
Hairpin.
He's not getting any closer, so he's well and truly out of that draft. So it's crazy to see that out of the draft from there. Martin nails the hairpin as well. It's over to 8 tenths now, so he's just riding away now.
Well, over could be the word. See though, Thompson's car is quick in a straight line. We mentioned, and he's strong through this part of the circuit, so we'll see. Van Loozenhout going to be tidy enough through the final sector. It looks like he is at the minute. Still close though. Martin runs a little bit wide.
25.8 for Martin the last lap. So absolutely flying.
Good.
Simpson, which was a 26.1. Jack was a 26.5. This
It's another
time,
10th or so apart.
what we get this time? So another 25.8 and a 26.0. So a good lap from Thompson, even without the draft. Pulls away another 2.5 tenths off of Keithley. So yeah, looking good with 2 laps to go. Let's focus back because I think that battle has probably seen its day. Depka and Baxter very, very close, 0.3 of a second.
2 to go then here. Race 3. And round Depka did a 26.7. It's the same time for Stephen Baxter, so struggling to make any progress.
These guys are not slow as well, you know, they're only 0.4 of a second off of Keithley and 3 seconds behind him.
They're only 6 seconds off the
Spinner in the
lead.
background, that was McFadden.
Oh,
so
Depka wide. Depka wide, and this is the chance for Baxter, Alex. Certainly this time.
side by side. Looky heights. Down. Oh. Yeah, well covered off there as well. Does make this corner more difficult. Depka could, as we've seen, out of shape. That's going to hamper his chances to get back. You could see he was eager to get right back on him. He knew he could get the run. It is. Let's let him get away a little bit.
He won't get that now.
Benton only 9 tenths behind him as well, so can't afford to make any other mistakes with 1 lap to go.
Gap at the front is still only 9/10 of a second, but as we've seen, that's not enough to get any slipstream. Thompson just 1/10 of a second slower. But around here, that is all it takes.
Yeah, problems for Ongner again. He's had the worst meeting I think he's had since he's joined the series.
Terrible meeting, apart from the one maybe where he hit me. That was his other one, I think. Bad meeting. What happened to McFadden? Oh, you said he dropped down, didn't you? Sorry.
Had the spin, yeah.
Yeah. Now Ongner's dropped down to last
great.
position.
That's a good lap from Josh. So pushing hard to try and keep with Martin.
Only takes one mistake though from Van Loosenhout.
Yeah.
And it only takes one mistake from Thompson to mean that he's definitely not gonna have a chance. But here we go then, over the hill. OMG, then final time. These two left-handers to go, slightly tighter one here. Then big long left-hander, which is pretty tricky. No problems for Martin Van Loosenhout. Going to be the hat trick for him. 3 races, 3 victories. Great job by Josh Thompson. Likewise, Keithley and Baxter. Depka finishing in the top 5. I think he'd be happy with that, even though he'd be a little bit annoyed maybe about the mistake that he made when still pretty close behind Baxter. Paul Denton in P6 ahead of Stelian Chepelevsky, who started second and led the race early on. Jos Honig in P8. 9th for Alex Smolensky. Looks like he's been in the wars actually on the last lap. 1:31 for Smolensky. I wonder if him and Stevens have had something going on, because Stevens lost out to Christian Rose on the last lap as well. Fadden 11th. Stevens actually down to 12th. Ongner in 13th. And David Waldock, the only retirement, we saw him go off and have a big crash with the tyres. What did you make of that one, mate? I thought it was quite a good race.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Thoroughly exciting race. So Josh is delivering some good racing today, and it's where all the action's at, really, isn't it?
I think you're right. And we've still got more of it to come then here on Apex Racing TV, and we're going to join you for that in just a few minutes' time then, as round 4 of the evening and the final race of the regular season gets underway on Apex Racing TV. We'll see you soon.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Simulate.
Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the final race of the evening in the BSR Formula Renault. And so far, Alex Simpson, I'm not going to curse it too much, but I've quite enjoyed tonight's meeting.
Yeah, it's been good. Seems to have lost a few more people though.
They've all fallen asleep, mate. That's what it is. It is getting on for 10 o'clock. Yeah, we're down to 11 again.
Just the regulars.
We've got Ongena, McFadden, Rose, Honig, Denton, top 5, Depker 6, Baxter 7, Keithley 8, Thompson 9, Van Loozenord 10th, and Waldock 11th. Go then.
Pretty rubbish cameras for the start of this one. Oh, that's not too bad.
Awful cameras, but here we go.
Green, green, green.
Ongena then gets a good start. Can he at least this time get a decent finish?
Here comes Rose. That's a fantastic start by him.
McFadden as well. He'll be hoping to see if he can pick up another win.
McFadden with his Lewis Hamilton helmet on there.
Martin's got 2 places already, just on turn 1.
He's boxed in though now. Oh, wide. Oh, Keithley's gone off, and that's held up Van Loozenord. There's Thompson and Baxter as well in there. Van Loozenord's last night.
Have to work for it this time then.
At least for a corner. Oh, Thompson breaks late and almost shoves Van Loozenord off the track. Dear me.
Rose holding off McFadden. McFadden tried to go around the outside of the hairpin, couldn't quite manage to do it.
Good start from Yannick.
Oh!
It's Denton. Isn't it fine at the inside? Was that what you were...
Yeah, and I think McFadden's already got wing damage, so it's going to be quite slow in a straight line. Don't know where he picked that up.
just taken Depker. Baxter's now been taken by Van Loozenord. Gonna try anyway.
Have to go around the outside if he's going to make it happen. They've both got slipstream of the cars ahead, so
hanging tough.
A good little battle.
Oh, Martin almost turned in there. Here comes Thompson with the trimmed out car.
Yeah.
Is he going to have any space though? I don't think he is. Van Loozenord's very smartly. Oh, he's trying to edge out.
Oh, he does. Fantastic.
How does he manage that? No idea at all. I tell you what, when
Martin straight back up the inside.
best battle on the track's for last position. Unbelievable. Second to last position. Yannick Ongena at least. There are 4 seconds separating the 11 cars that we have. On lap 2. This is what we want. These small grids, everybody evenly matched. They've done a lot of practice on this track now, Alex. They've had a lot of laps. And we want this to be a close fight. Martin up this time does get Baxter, but he's going to struggle with Depker. Depker's got the momentum. Here comes Baxter again, and Thompson with that straight line speed advantage. Thompson's going to try the outside over the top of the hill. That's surely not going to work, but Van Loozenord's going to try the inside at MG. Oh, late on the brakes.
Bush does get it, and Baxter actually sees him coming, gives him the room, which was good.
Martin just lunged up the inside into MG.
Yeah, I think he needed to. Keithley's starting to move his way forward.
Oh, teammates there. Don't want to get that close together, boys. Depkin's got the help from Van Loozenord now. Thompson just has that extra straight line speed. He won't let Baxter out, surely. Goes through, and that's nicely worked by Apex Racing Academy. If Depka can keep ahead of Stephen Baxter. Baxter trying to squeeze Depka a bit. Goes wide, and here comes David Waldock. Their best battle on the tracks for last place.
Yeah, absolutely insane.
Here comes Waldock. Going to go through into the Honda hairpin. He takes the inside line. He's going to go for Depka. No, he's missed it. He's missed it completely. Oh, dear me.
Everyone was alive to that though. Losing all past Denton now, so next car up the road is Honig. Back still pretty much nip and tuck.
That's what you call late on the brakes, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is that he was unsighted. Because I think it is a corner where sometimes if you are following closely, it's tough to see it. Yannick Ongena having a very good start to this race. 1/3 distance, and he's going to be coming over in the lead with 1.5 seconds.
He just took Rose there as well on screen, and
Rose is surely going to fight back for CQR here.
McFadden not having as much issues with his wing damage. Actually, it's repaired itself as well, so it's
He's still
one of
slow
those
though.
one of those phantom ones.
A little bit slow on the straight, mate.
Well, I don't know. Not when you've got no draft. I think that's about right. So it's not doing too bad out there. And up
Of
to
course, we're running a default set, McFadden, because he turned up quite late.
yeah, P2. He's not had much practice as well. He was saying so. They're doing a great job out
the
there.
Inside here. He's a good racer, Stuart McFadden. But Rose misses it. I wonder if he got Keithley slightly there. Rose completely missed on the hairpin.
Did he go to? Let's have a look at that back. Did he just
He
go
went
down
off
the
into
runoff area?
Yeah. Back on now. Head of Waldock, so that's the two guys who ended up going on the hairpin, defeated them. Oh, McFadden and Keithley over the top of Lukey Heights. McFadden's on the grass. Oh no! Bang!
Well, we'll have to stay with this because we were still watching the replay of Rose going off just on the outside there.
Has Keithley got away with that somehow?
He does get quite lucky with some of these things, it's fair to say. He also gets a lot of bad luck in different situations, but
It doesn't look like there's any damage on it.
sometimes the contact.
There's maybe a tiny bit of damage to the diffuser. Oh, there might be some more damage now. Oh dear. Very close there between Keithley and Van Loosen. I think there might be some slight damage to the diffuser of Keithley, but that might be it. Tell you what, if that's Depka, he gets wiped out completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or Baxter as well. Baxter gets some awful luck. Keithley versus Van Loosen all dead side by side into Honda. Keithley will have seen now Josh Thompson defending the position for so long in race 3. Oh! Great run by Martin. Absolutely fantastic run. This is the part of the circuit where he seems to have the legs on everyone else. The hay shed. Oh, goodness me. How close that is.
Down the outside, Martin. Only driver I've seen been able to keep that side by side through there as well. Everybody else has lost the position. And that was why Keithley desperately wanted the inside. Didn't work at all.
Very quick through MG as well. Really just carries more speed than everyone else through there. It's going to be under pressure now though, as Jack have that slipstream. It's for second place, by the way.
Thompson come in as well. This will be a good little three-way battle if he can get there. Martin desperately trying to hold off Keithley. Gonna be able to do it. No, he's not.
Well, he's not down
not
the
yet.
straight, but maybe into.
Oh, that was nice. He's quick going into there as well, isn't he? Seems to be able to get the car turned in through there, carrying a little bit more speed, a little bit of a wiggle on the way out, and it's these three drivers are all right next to each other. Ongena's hoping that they're going to battle like crazy, and he can try and maintain this gap that he's got.
Keithley's exit wasn't the best from turn 2, so he's only really maintained the gap to Martin. Thompson with that straight line speed advantage really got his got his head screwed on tonight. In fact, both of them have. Pleasing to see after last week, definitely. At the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit, home of
Martin's away. 8 tenths.
MotoGP, World Superbikes, and various other competitions, V8 supercars. That's the end of that battle then.
Going to be Thompson and Keithley, and we'll wait for Martin to run down Yannick.
It's Martin's middle sector, Alex. That's the best, and he gained a second on him on that lap.
Oh, look at that in the background. As Jack and Josh go at it again, sweeping around the outside, carrying that momentum. Does Thompson through?
It's so easy as well if you're on the inside there to understeer into the car on the outside. Just such is the way that corner goes, especially on the way in.
I do think Jack is suffering with that. He's picked up enough damage that he's just enough. Pace has been knocked off, yeah, that he's struggling to keep up with the guys as well, making it a bit easier to get by.
He had a small goose up the inside there, but I wouldn't call that a full one.
Yeah, Josh already 7 tenths clear as well, so yeah, just can't keep with them in that infield. Josh 1.1 seconds behind Martin, 1.3 seconds to the lead now, so that's the times from the as they cross the line. So 7-8 tenths of a second. Martin's taken out a Yannick just in this lap.
Is Thompson catching Van Loozenhoorn here? Maybe fractionally. It was a quick lap that time by Dutchman. Pursuit of the Belgian. Ongena. See what it is this time then. 1.1 seconds. 25.2 for Yannick, 24.3 for Van Loozenhoorn, 24.4 for Thompson, 25.5 for Keithley. So I think you're right, there must be something going on with the rear of the car. Oh, what's happened to Thompson?
Josh made a mistake. Keithley through.
What happened there? Did he just go wide?
We're just going to have a quick look at it back. I'm guessing he missed something into turn 1 or some instant in turn 2.
You know, he lost the rear 2 or 3 times in that turn 2. Fighting so hard to just keep it pointing the right way. If you get a replay of that.
Looking at it now. Yeah, just trying to pick up the gas a bit early, isn't he? And the car comes around. Unusual. To be honest, this car doesn't usually suffer with sort of that on-power oversteer like that. It's pretty gutless.
The side-by-side again. You're right about that. Oh, Keithley again placing the car beautifully through MG. I wonder if we're going to get a battle for the lead. At the end of this straight, it's close.
Be this lap for sure.
Down to half a second.
Thompson straight through again. That speed.
Oh, the side-by-side though. How close they are. Oh! Thought Jack was going to turn in there.
Tenths of a second then at the front.
Yeah, what can Yannick going to do? Can he do anything? Defend the inside here, surely. Into the Honda hairpin. He has to move. No. I guess Faker have just given up racing anyone then, have they?
Just get the points at all
Even
costs.
for the race win. Come on. You're all in. You're pretty... Oh dear, never mind.
At 9 tenths of a second a lap, you can understand why he's not worried about that. He'll just take the second place. Remember, this is podium points.
You're right.
No, it's not. It's not podium point credit because he's a wild card, isn't he? So Yannick won't get anything. So yeah, he's all in. Go for it.
It's disappointing. You'd have thought he's got 3 laps to try and hold back Martin. He's got no damage or anything like that. He could try.
I have to turn my attention towards the back actually now. 7th, 8th, and 9th.
McFadden loses it, and that was the same place he lost it at earlier on.
That's allowed Depka through. Rose.
That was a good time to turn your attention to the back.
Indeed, yeah. Rose under a bit of pressure from McFadden now as he's recovering from that little spin.
Depka's away actually, isn't he? Might have enough gap there to avoid the slipstream.
tenths of a second, so it's close.
Fadden versus Rose through turn 1. Fadden likes this outside line through here though. Almost like it's almost a wet weather line, just keeps all that momentum. Good slipstream now. You're doing on the hairpin. Rose holds the inside, McFadden to the outside. Both men driving the BSR TC as well. And McFadden who's a winner in this series this season as well. Just to go through, but Christian Rose is not giving up, Alex. He's looking good towards the middle of the lap.
The battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th has heated back up again as well. We'll stay with Rose as he's on the inside here.
Yeah, it was Keithley having a big look at Thompson. The hairpin.
I think Baxter will just sit there and be patient behind his teammate. But yeah, and Rose, a mistake through the hairpin.
Very good pace by Baxter, white flag in the air for Van Loozenhout. Then he leads by 1.8 seconds over Yannick Ongeda. Oh my goodness me, what is going on down
Reactive there as well. Josh needed to cover that up a little bit earlier, I feel.
Yep, cannot react to the move of the offensive driver. Here comes Baxter. Off goes Baxter. He's almost into the marshal's post.
Yeah, good lad though. He slowed that down. It's not always easy to do on the grass, and avoided coming back onto the circuit.
He actually hasn't lost any places.
No, that was good.
P5.
Issue for Rose, I feel. He's doing a lot slower than the other drivers around him right now.
He's off the track, that's why. Yep. Going truly off the circuit there, Christian Rose.
Drive from Ongeda, P2, he'll be happy with that. But yeah, this man's done it again. 4 out of 4. Thank you very much for the podium credits that will go his way for the showdown. He might well not have been leading this championship going into the showdown, but once we hit the showdown, he's going to be leading it. That's for sure, with the bonus credits that he's got.
There we go then. Final corner of the night, and 4 wins in a row. The Grand Slam goes to Martin Van Loozenhout here at Phillip Island. Well done to him, and well done to Yannick Ongeda after what was an awful meeting, really. P2 suddenly turns it into a lot better evening for him. Jack Keithley in 3rd, ahead of Josh Thompson. And Stephen Baxter in P5, Paul Denton in 6th, 7th Tom Depke. Then it was McFadden just in 8th, ahead of Waldock. And Christian Rose in 10th. Jos Honig is going to come through. He's got a severely damaged car, Alex. And like that half DRS going on at the back. See what he gets now. 11th for him, but he does finish on the lead lap.
They've earned valuable points.
What it's all about. What it's all about. Okay then. Well, that pretty much concludes tonight's action, Alex. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was
good race meeting.
So many times better than last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, we weren't raging at the screen, were we, today?
No, we didn't swear at anyone, which was a positive development, I think.
That's it, yeah.
Fake. But yeah, all in all, quite looking forward to the showdown now.
Yeah, we'll get into the business now. So officially, what are we, 6 races to go? Right?
Rounds, yeah.
I'll have to check that. I haven't got the rounds thing on
It's all 7
this.
rounds, isn't it?
Yeah, 7 rounds, something like that. So yeah, so not long to go at all.
All right. So you stuck with us so far, then very grateful for that. And well, there's going to be more to come from the BSR Formula Renault series. The showdown begins next week. Join us on Thursday for the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship as well. We look forward to bringing you all the action from that one. Right then, everybody, thank you for watching. And from Andrew Woodhouse, from Alex Simpson, it's goodbye from the BSR Formula Renault Championship.